Rebecca and Jake Harrow have several children, the youngest just 7 months old. His name is Emmanuel, and he's missing. Emmanuel's mom says she knows what happened. She was in the parking lot of a Big Five sporting goods store and was trying to change Emmanuel's diaper. That's when she says she was attacked by a man who said, "Hola," and then knocked her out cold. When she came to, Emmanuel was nowhere to be found. Now, investigators questioned Rebecca and confronted her about the inconsistencies in her story. Meanwhile, Emmanuel's father, Jake, was convicted of child cruelty back in 2018 when he abused his 10-week-old daughter. And now tonight, big breaking news. Rebecca and Jake Harrow have been arrested and taken into custody, and we are live in San Bernardino County, California with all the latest. But first, the murder of Florida State University law professor Dan Markel shocked Tallahassee and sent ripples through the legal community. On a July morning in 2014, Markel was gunned down in his driveway, a calculated execution tied to a bitter custody battle with his ex-wife, Wendi Adelson. For years, investigators unraveled the tangled web of family disputes, hitmen, and secret payments until suspicion fell on Wendi's mother, Donna Adelson. Prosecutors allege she was the mastermind orchestrating the murder to solve her daughter's problems and keep her grandchildren close. Now, as her trial begins, the courtroom is bracing for bombshells. Donna, once the matriarch of a prominent family, faces the chilling accusation of ordering her son-in-law's death. And tonight, we are live from Tallahassee, Florida, with all the latest. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. Great to have you with us, and what a big hour full of true crime that we have for you tonight. And it begins with the beginning of this brand new trial. Donna Adelson, not a brand new case, but it's a case that really got into gear when the hitman flipped. His name is Luis Rivera. This was a murder for hire. He was the hired gun, literally. This was a guy who is a Latin king leader down in South Florida, and he was the one who said, all right, you got me. I'll tell you whatever you need to know. And as a result, he got the best deal and may actually be free someday, despite the fact that he murdered Dan Markel. Now, based upon his testimony and all the other evidence that it led to, they were able to, prosecutors, with the help of Rivera, get the lovers locked up, Sigfredo and Katherine Magbanua. These two have children together. They've been together for years. Not exclusively, but I think Sigfredo really loved Katie, and Katie was like looking around for other men. And in the end here, she's the one who brokered the deal. She has the boyfriend, or whatever his status was at the time, whose best friend was a Latin king, and she knew that they could murder someone. If you needed someone whacked, yeah, get the money, I'll give it to them, they'll take care of business. Well, at their first trial and her second trial, she claimed her innocence, but now she's admitting to it all. She's locked up. Her testimony helped lock up Mama's boy, Charlie Adelson. Who's he? He's Wendi's brother and Donna Adelson's son. And he has a very close relationship with his mother, Donna. I mean, they spoke every single day, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a good thing, right? A grown man still spending time speaking with his mom, as long as they're not allegedly talking about killing someone or having someone whacked. And that's the allegations in this case. That this mama's boy was a big part of this because he had the relationship with Katie Magbanua, but that his mom, Donna Adelson, was pulling all the strings. That she is actually the mastermind of this, the one who's able to convince her son that his sister needs help in this custody battle, and the only way we can take care of it is if you take care of Dan Markel. And that's what this case is all about. Charlie Adelson's been convicted. The jury believed all that. Sigfredo, Katherine Magbanua, convicted. The jury believed all that. So that really brings me to the question, like, she's on trial now, Donna Adelson. Like, what is her defense going to be? What is she going to claim or argue to this jury? Joining us from Tallahassee, Court TV anchor Julie Jenaé, who's been inside the courtroom all day and covering this story literally for years. All right. So let's start. This is the thing that I was most interested in trying to wrap my head around. You know, what is she going to say? What is she going to do? What is their defense? What is Donna's defense? What did they lay out in court?
Yeah, Vinny, you asked me last night. You wanted to know if she was going to have a different story than Charlie Adelson. We talked about it being possible. And now we know that it's not necessarily a different story, but it is definitely a different approach, different theme in front of this jury, and it's twofold. Now, one of the biggest differences between Charlie's trial and this trial, I think now, not the defendants, it's the attorneys. Jackie Fulford is the attorney, one of the two attorneys representing Donna inside of this courtroom, and she is a retired judge here in the area. She is someone who has a lot of experience. And there's two themes that I got from this defense. This is what it looked like inside of the courtroom when she was giving her opening statement to this jury. They used easels instead of a PowerPoint. And there was one that our cameras could see a lot easier, but there was another one that perhaps people didn't see that were watching along. And that's this huge picture, the headshot of Dan Markel that we've shown everyone. It's his professional picture where he's got the green ties, looking very dapper, into the camera smiling. She had that up as a huge picture next to a picture of Donna Adelson. And the only way I can describe this theme is that they aligned themselves, aligned Donna with the victim here. Take a listen to really how she started her opening and spent a significant amount of time where you almost wondered if you were hearing from the defense or the prosecution.
Don't forget Danny. He was an amazing professor. He was very well educated. He had 2 degrees, I think, from Harvard, one of them from law school there. He was a professor. He had students. He was very well respected by his peers, his colleagues. He traveled all over the place to talk at conferences. They wanted him there for him to come and speak. Very, very intelligent man, and I can't say I know because I never met him. I wish I had. But I know he had to be proud of all that he had achieved.
And they went on with more glowing things about Danny Markel, things we all know about, but the prosecution didn't even spend that much time giving all of these compliments to the victim in this case because they had such a complicated murder-for-hire plot that they had to share. So the second part, or second theme that I noticed in this defense opening for Donna Adelson was that there were these subtle jabs or subtle aimings at the children in this case. Charlie Adelson, of course, has been convicted, and Wendi Adelson. Take a listen to Charlie's name coming up in this opening.
Charlie Adelson, which is her son, gave approximately between $130,000 and $138,000 that he had in his safe that he collected and stapled together. His money went to her, not Miss Adelson. They can prove and how that he paid her to get them to kill Danny Markel. It's this man's money, not Donna Adelson's.
This man being Charlie Adelson. Vinny, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that there would be so much blame shifting to the children. It's not overt, but I really wonder if it's something that Donna Adelson was on board with from the beginning or that she had to be convinced of by her attorneys.
So is this a traditional pointing the finger at Charlie? Like, Charlie did it, whatever he did, he did? This is shocking.
Not traditional. It's subtle, you know, it's only coming out in certain ways. It's not, don't convict her of something her son did, but it is, hey, Charlie told her to do this, and we'll tell you later in the trial why he told her to do this, but just know she just did what her son told her to do. Plus, they asked these jurors in jury selection if their children had ever lied to them, and if they, how did they react when their children lied to them. So I wonder if that's going to be coming out.
Wow. Okay. That's different. How about the prosecution? Is there anything different about the prosecution case going towards Donna? Because I remember during Charlie's trial, we were all talking about, like, wow, there's a lot of evidence here that would implicate Donna. Like, so have they had to adjust or add or subtract anything?
It seems like a very similar opening statement, having sat through both of these trials, but there are some add-ons and also a new focus, because we heard Donna's emails and things that she said about Danny in the past in the other trials, but this time it is front and center. The things that she was saying in the months leading up to the death of Dan Markel. This was a bitter divorce. This was a child custody battle. But this mother-in-law, this mom of the daughter, Wendi, she was very involved, and she had a lot of sharp, scathing things to say about Danny. So take a look at one of them that was shown on the screen to this jury during the prosecution. They had really a PowerPoint presentation of different things that Donna had to say about Dan. She called him gibbers. It was a really offensive word that she used for him. But she mentioned that he was someone who, actually, I'm looking at what we have on the screen now. We have a handwritten letter, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to read this, though, first. That she said that you dressed your kids up in Hitler. She's talking to Wendi, by the way, about what we should do with the kids to get Dan to move from Tallahassee to South Florida, or to let her do that. And basically, she said she doesn't care if she has to dress her kids, meaning her grandsons, up in Hitler Youth uniforms and bring them down. She could care less, as long as it shows that Danny is not the one in control. And allegedly, she was suggesting that they do things with the kids to blackmail Danny into letting them move, converting them to Catholicism. Is really crazy stuff. Let's bring back up, though, that letter from an informant. This was really important and revealing. It is brand new. This is what a jailhouse informant gave to the state of Florida, telling them that Donna was trying to bribe people behind bars. She was trying to get jail inmates to talk on her behalf. Let's listen to what Sarah Duggan had to say and then talk about what that bribe was.
One informant was even able to show law enforcement a script, a question and answer session for a direct examination and trial that Donna Adelson herself wrote, and that Donna Adelson wanted this informant to memorize and come into court and perjure herself by reciting it to you here in trial.
So allegedly, Vinny, this is a handwritten note by Donna that she gave her jail daughter inside of the jail after she had been arrested. And we know months ago, the defense came forward and told the court they had witnesses who were in jail with Donna. They wanted to depose them immediately because they didn't want to lose them. And they said they are going to say that Katherine Magbanua, when she was housed here in the jail, that they overheard her saying that she set the Adelsons up. So even behind bars, the accusation is she was still trying to use money to cover things up and get away with essentially murder.
That's a bad look. That's a real bad look. Okay. Let's talk about the hitman who flipped Luis Rivera. Big witness on the stand today.
Big witness on the stand today, said many of the same things that he said in every trial. You mentioned it. He is the first one who flipped. He's the one who didn't have to go to trial out of all of these defendants because he got the deal. And he said something different today than he said on the stand before, Vinny. He said that Wendi Adelson was the one who told Katie Magbanua information that he used, along with Sigfredo Garcia, the other hitman, to choose the day to travel here to kill Dan Markel. He said that they knew he was about to go out of town, and when he was asked why he knew that, he said that Katie learned it from Wendi. In prior trials, he said that he didn't know who gave them that information. He also said this under cross-examination.
And the woman who wanted him to be killed, past you and Sigfredo and Katie, the woman who wanted him to be killed was Wendi Adelson, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It was she wanting her children, correct?
Absolutely.
And then I said, if you would, put the number 5 next to the lady that wanted the man killed. And did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And was that with Wendi Adelson?
Yes, I did.
And then I asked you if the 2 people on the top of the page who have their pictures there and the names Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson. You see those on the top?
Yes, ma'am.
I asked you, as far as you know, were they involved in any of this? And you said no, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Vinny, just another example of Jackie Fulford making it clear to these jurors that Donna is not the one involved, even if her children are.
Wow. This is a lot. This is a lot on day one. Julie, Jenaé, breaking it down so well for us. Thank you so much. All right. Let's bring in our think tank. Joining us tonight, criminal defense attorney Josh Colesrud and attorney Ali Benevento. Wow. Okay. Ali, what do you think about blaming the kids? I mean, they're adults, but they're her children. What do you think about blaming the kids? That's what I'm getting from all this. It's Charlie, who's lying to me, and you've got Wendi, who's the one who's in contact with Katherine Magbanua, giving up the details here. That is shocking to me.
It's an interesting strategy. I mean, she's an older lady, and if they want to go with the narrative that she too is a victim and she is a victim of her children, that's an interesting take.
Yeah, well, she was 10 years younger when this all happened.
I don't know how the jury's going to feel about that.
She was 10 years younger when this all happened. Josh, what are your thoughts, your reaction to the fact that it appears from day one that the defense of Donna Adelson is really going to be squared at her children, Charlie, and her daughter, Wendi?
You know, I don't think it's much of a surprise. You know, all of the direct evidence points to the two children. And, you know, I watched the opening statements today. And by the way, I can't believe that the prosecution read their entire statement. It was, you know, very droll. You can almost fall asleep to it. But anyway, it was very obvious that they want to show that there's no direct evidence whatsoever with the bribery, with the planning, with the firearm. And today we also learned from Rivera that Donna really had nothing to do with him, and he didn't implicate her at all. So I think that, you know, it is, you know, a good strategy to blame the kids because, you know, Charlie's already been convicted. A jury has already found him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But guilt shouldn't be contagious either. And the prosecution, I think, really has an uphill battle.
This is unbelievable, the way all of this has developed here. But, you know, it's kind of like the mafia. The Don is not going to speak directly with those who are carrying out the murder. There's going to be a lot of people in between. Let's take a listen to this, more from the defense open and pointing some blame, oh no, maybe at us. Let's take a listen.
The state has a theory, and for the past 9 to 11 years, in fairness, probably 9 years, they have told the whole world that Mrs. Adelson was the reason that this happened. Mrs. Adelson was the reason that this happened. They've told this story, and it's outrageous. It gets people's attention. It's made a lot of money for the media, interviews, specials. Some people in jury selection said they had watched these specials. Lawyers on there, investigators on there. They made a lot of money for the media, and it got big attention because this is outrageous, what happened. It is truly outrageous. But what's more outrageous is, without any evidence, only motive and theory, they put her at the top of this pyramid. She's the matriarch. She's the matriarch mastermind behind Danny being killed, and they don't have evidence of that.
Fascinating. Blaming the media, Ali, a little bit, right? I just did get my check from the last trial for the prosecution of her son, so that's good. I'm glad we're still making money from it. Like, that's silly. But, Ali, what are your thoughts here? Like, she's speaking to Charlie all the time. She is the mother. She is the overbearing mother. It's not outrageous to make this argument, to put these pieces together, but she is somewhat removed from the people who actually engaged in the murder itself. But, like, you know, the Godfather is not going to be directly involved with the people who are executing the hit, and this is a murder for hire case. So what do you, Ali, can you hear us? Allie cannot hear us. We will go to Josh.
I can jump in if you want.
Yes, Josh, please.
Yeah, so, I think this can be shown as classic confirmation bias, where you start with a conclusion that Donna is guilty, and then you work backwards, and you attribute some type of sinister motive to anything and everything that she did. A phone call to her son is motive. Signing her name on a check is blood money. Going on a trip to Vietnam, she's obviously trying to flee. There's always a negative inference when you work backwards. And, the defense is right that when you say the word matriarch, usually in everyday parlance, that's actually not a bad word. But when you have confirmation bias, even words like matriarch are given a sinister name to it. And I think that, they're going to have a tough time going uphill, especially because of Rivera's testimony today. I don't think the prosecution was betting on the fact that he was going to say really that Donna didn't have anything to do with it, in his opinion. And, how are they going to come back from that? And this was supposed to be their star witness. So, it'll be exciting to see what happens.
We shall see. All right. Think tank standing by. When we come back, we're going to talk about the big breaking news in the baby Emmanuel case. Mom and dad under arrest. Matt Johnson will join us live. Plus, coming up next hour. Tonight on Wendi Adelson Investigates, she was the sharp-tongued matriarch accused of turning a bitter custody battle into a deadly murder-for-hire plot. Now, Donna Adelson is on trial for murder, but do prosecutors have any evidence from before the shooting of Dan Markel? Tonight, we investigate.
Court TV's Wendi Adelson with the latest and breaking true crime stories.
Now, let's look at the other side of all of that.
Wendi Adelson Investigates tonight, 9/8 Central, only on Court TV.
When the queen come through, y'all better move back. Cardi B is back in the courtroom, facing civil allegations for allegedly attacking a security guard.
The Cardi B assault trial. Coverage next week following jury selection on Court TV.
This trial.
So I want to give you the lay of the land here in Cabazon at the parents' home. It is now a massive crime scene since the parents' arrest early this morning. So we have crime scene tape up here. The sheriff's maintaining the integrity of the scene. They were investigating over at the parents' house earlier today, as they have been for the past several days. We saw several units, including a forensic unit with the sheriff's department, leaving just a few moments ago. Now I want to show you, we have reporters, local reporters and national, doing their live shots. You have a lot of media from all across the country here, especially Southern California, where this is all taking place. Again, this is between Palm Springs and Los Angeles. It's in the desert community here, tight-knit community. And that's also why on the other end of what I'm calling the crime scene tape is where we're seeing another scene. Let's go over there and I'm going to show you what that scene looks like. So we're about a block away from the house where the parents were arrested earlier today. You can see that there's highway patrol. They're helping with the investigation. Remember, this is taking place right off of the 10 freeway here in Southern California. So on this side of things, only media allowed and investigators where we were standing is all of these onlookers, community members from the desert and nearby communities that are absolutely heartbroken that we still don't have answers as to where this baby is.
What a scene out in California today. Big news. Let's put it up. Earlier today, the San Bernardino County Sheriff posted this on X. This morning, detectives from the Sheriff's Homicide Detail Specialized Enforcement Division arrested Jake and Rebecca Harrow at their residence in Cabazon for PC 187, murder. Investigators will continue their search for 7-month-old Emmanuel Harrow. And Matt Johnson joins us live now at the scene of the parents' home. Matt, wow. Let's start first with a busy day, a lot happening, a lot of traction. But is that the house behind you? Has the crime scene tape been lifted and you're able to get a little bit closer now?
busy day and a dark turn for the story of missing baby Emmanuel, just 7 months old, vanished off the face of the earth and from this area in Cabazon. This was his home. This is where those parents, Rebecca and Jake, were arrested, hauled out in handcuffs in broad daylight earlier today, 1 week after this baby was reported missing. Let's show you that video, brand new to our newsroom, handed to us by those sheriff's deputies investigating this case still at this hour. Rebecca Harrow hauled away in handcuffs, brought past the gates of her home in the desert here in the Coachella Valley in Southern California, walking past that makeshift memorial that other people have put up for her missing baby, including, flowers and a vigil that's out here. And then her husband also arrested, hauled away in handcuffs, put behind the seat of a squad car there. He is arrested, both facing murder charges at this hour. Deputies do not believe that the 7-month-old baby Emmanuel was abducted from the Big 5 Sporting Goods 30 minutes from their home. Investigators telling me that they've issued search warrants, issued warrants for vehicles on the property, conducted several interviews, taken cell phones into custody. San Bernardino County Sheriff's releasing this statement at Court TV telling me this. It is believed that Emmanuel is deceased and the search to recover his remains is ongoing. Our focus remains on finding the little baby. They are being held tonight, Vinny, in Riverside County Jail. That is about 30 minutes from here. Again, there is 2 agencies in Southern California investigating. We have San Bernardino, who we saw here, boots on the ground earlier. They made the arrest. And then you have Riverside County, where they're being housed tonight. No bail. They have yet to see a judge. And I'm also being told that there's no outstanding suspects and no other arrests, Vinny.
Yeah, we're watching that video now of Jake Harrow being put into the back of the vehicle. Big show of force also by the sheriff pulling up. During the day, was there much of a... They didn't find anything, or do we know if they found evidence inside? Is that clear at this point? Whether they've charged with murder, so there has to be some evidence that the child is dead. They haven't revealed that?
They have not revealed that, at least not publicly. Remember, they do have to be arraigned next week, the parents of this missing child. What we're told is that they have enough evidence and enough interviews to believe that the baby has died. Now their focus at this hour is recovering that baby's remains, and then it's over into the court system. But I can tell you this much, this community completely heartbroken. I know it well. I worked here in the Coachella Valley. I worked in LA for many, many years, and there has just been dozens and dozens of people visiting the site, and many people in tears. Let's play some of my interviews from earlier today.
I have kids of my own. I couldn't think of myself being a mother letting something like this slide. That's why I'm getting emotional, because I will do anything for my kids.
What are you hoping for at this point?
Like I said, probably justice that they find the baby, God willing, they find him alive, and justice that these parents or anybody else who was involved get what they deserve.
Back out here live, and also I want to put the tip line on the screen as I finish my report. We tip 1-800-78-CRIME. If you know anything, please call sheriff's deputies here. All right, this is the makeshift memorial. You have teddy bears, you have balloons, you have signs, all of them almost reading, "Where is baby Emmanuel?" and "Justice for this baby." And Vinny, I have to show you that it's getting late here at this hour. A lot of answers, and look at the number of people that are still out here in front of the home, not just local news reporters, but just people in the community asking for anyone with information to come forward. Vinny?
Matt Johnson, Court TV crime and justice correspondent, working hard today in the heat in the desert. Thanks so much. Let's bring in private investigator Steve Fisher, who's been on the ground getting some incredible video. He's also a search and rescue pilot and ground searcher. Steve, thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for sharing your video with us as we speak. People are going to see that video. What did you see happening out there today as you got that overhead look at when investigators were executing their search warrant and making those arrests?
Yeah, so I got there just as they brought them out in handcuffs. I got the drone up, and what I saw was they brought the forensic team in, and they started going through trash, actually, on the northwest corner of the house, which I've found through through a previous incident at the house is actually Jake's bedroom. And I could also see through the windows that there was forensic people and detectives in that room as well. So the focus seemed to be on the main house and that bedroom, what we're looking at right there. That seemed to be the focus of it. They were sifting through trash, and and there was people inside.
Yeah, Steve, you're an investigator, search, rescue pilot, ground searcher as well. How difficult do you think this is going to be, having taken a look at the lay of the land and just trying to put together a timeline here, because we don't even know when this baby actually went missing?
That's the thing. I mean, I've been 5 days. I really think that this baby's been gone a while. I don't think that I think they just tried to put this plan in motion, last week at the Big Five. But I think it's been a while. This could be another Montgomery or Harmony Montgomery type situation, not a long period of time. But they got a big head start. And this is a very vast, open area. Like the last reporter said, it's in between LA and Palm Springs. And there's a casino there, and that's it. And it is just open land as far as you can see. And so it's going to make it really difficult. Only thing that might help here is that they arrested both of them. And I think that somebody's going to want to flip on the other. And Jake has a history of doing that. In the 2018 case, I picked up the declaration in support of the arrest warrants for that case today, and he just he tries to sell out, the mother on that case. So we could see some of that, and that maybe we'll find out, where Emmanuel is through them, playing off each other.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. And what you're saying is that there's a history with Jake Harrow. Last time he was accused of, and ended up getting convicted of, abusing a baby. He rolled over on the mother in that case, and now here's another mom, another dad. Obviously, they're going to have different lawyers. They have different interests. But if prosecutors or investigators are correct here that they are responsible, both of them know. Both of them know what happened, and the first one to tell is the one that's going to get the deal. And I think that may be the only way they find this baby.
I agree 100%, and I think they're letting them know one person's going to get the deal, and that's why I think we could get something pretty quick here. How
about the grandmother? How about the grandmother, Steve? Because the grandmother is connected to this family. She might have some information.
That is a very good point. And I personally don't have any proof. I personally believe that she has got really important information. She came out strong in defense of them, but listen, there's other, if you pull the backgrounds on these people, there's several family members that are attached to that address. And I don't think they're the only two that live there. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else, takes a fall for an accessory or something like that, because I do think that there's other people that know this. In the fact that nobody's reported Emmanuel is gone. When did nobody? I have not heard anybody yet say when they definitively seen this child, outside of the parent.
Yeah,
and that's scary.
That's scary. And it reminds me of another case that was in California, the Cal City toddlers, those two little boys who disappeared supposedly in December, but were actually murdered in September, and the parents reported missing in December. So 3 months, they never found those boys. That's the challenge here. And I think the interesting part will be if they remain united or if they flip on each other. Steve Fisher, SF Investigates. Check it out, folks. The amazing, amazing video and analysis by Steve on all these cases. Thanks so much, Steve.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, folks, when we come back, Eric Menendez denied parole yesterday. Lyle is up today. We'll talk about Eric. We'll bring back in our think tank. Don't go anywhere.
because she was out of control. My dad had been molesting me.
The key issue of exhibiting insight, full insight into their crimes and completely accepting responsibility for their actions. This is where the Menendezes, like Sirhan, also fall short.
There you go. We're talking about Eric Menendez trying to get paroled out after being a double murderer, was denied. Take a look at why it was denied. Rule violations. The commissioners focused on numerous rule violations committed while in prison: drinking alcohol, affiliating with a gang, having a cell phone. Like, okay, the parole board was awake and they did not grant it. He can come back after 3 years to apply again. His brother Lyle having his hearing today. We haven't gotten word on that yet. Let's bring in our think tank, Eklund Mercy, Josh Colesrud, and Ali Benevento. Is this justice, Eklund Mercy, to deny parole to the convicted double murderers who are affiliating with a gang and drinking booze and getting a cell phone while in prison?
No. The charges, it may look like a lot, but it's not really explaining everything. So when did it happen? They've been in prison for over 20 years. And the only 3 things that you can say is affiliation with the gang, no actions with the gang, alcohol. How many times did he possess alcohol?
This is within the last few years, though.
Exactly. So here's the thing. He's been there for how many years? And those are the only 3 things that you have? I mean, for real. And he's been there since he was... Since he was what? 20-something? Like, he's been there for over 20 years.
Allie?
That is not fair.
What gang do you think it was? The Preppies?
I'm not sure. I think it's probably pretty hard to not be affiliated with a gang when you're in prison. But I think the bigger issue is that a lot of these violations happened since the time that they've been pursuing these resentencing efforts and since the time they knew they were going to go before the parole board. I believe that I read somewhere that Eric had a cell phone as recently as this January. You have to be smarter than that. You're going before the board. You have to be on your best behavior. I agree that in the grand scheme of things, they have not had as many infractions as I'm sure a lot of people have. But again, especially when they have committed a crime and been convicted of committing a crime as heinous as the one that they were convicted of, they have to be squeaky clean. And unfortunately, Eric just wasn't. And he wasn't as recently as this year.
Josh, Eric said, what I got in terms of the phone and my connection with the outside world was far greater than the consequences of me getting caught with the phone. Okay, there you go. Reach out and touch someone, but you're not going to touch someone on the outside because you're still locked up. What do you think, Josh?
He's exactly where he should be, Vinny, and I'll tell you why. You know, we're arguing and quibbling over some infractions and this or that. Let's not forget that these 2 brothers murdered their parents in cold blood with premeditation and reloaded their shotguns and then shot the mother's head off to the point where they couldn't even recognize the mother. It was so brutal. And then they took the $14 million that they inherited, spent most of it, bought a Porsche, had tennis lessons. I mean, these guys were living a life of luxury in the worst way possible. They got what they deserved. And, you know, if they never see the light of day, honestly, that's the only way that justice will be served in this case.
All right, we only have a short amount of time, so give me a quick answer. We'll go around the horn real quick. Do you believe that they will ever get out? 10 seconds each. Eklund.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay. Allie, do you think they'll ever get out, see the light of day?
I think it's possible. I think that especially moving forward, if Eric does better during the next 3 years before he can go up again, I think he has an opportunity and a chance. I think the family support is there and the public support is there.
Josh?
Unfortunately, I think that my colleagues are correct. And they also have Kim Kardashian, who's on their side. And once she's on the case, you know, it's hard to go against her.
Great job. Eklund Mercy, Josh Colesrud, and Ali Benevento. Great to see you. Thank you so much. When we come back, I will reveal something else you need to know tonight. Plus, coming up next hour. Tonight on Wendi Adelson investigates a grandmother at the center of a chilling murder-for-hire plot. Did Donna Adelson mastermind her own son-in-law's execution to keep her family in South Florida? Now the trial has begun and Donna is crying in the courtroom. What does her demeanor reveal? Tonight, we investigate.
Join Court TV's Wendi Adelson with the latest and breaking true crime stories.
Now, let's look at the other side of all of that.
Wendi Adelson investigates. Coming up next, only on Court TV.
Donna Adelson is facing charges of murder, the death of her former son-in-law.
Now that Donna has turned into a defendant, what's next for the Adelson clan?
The matriarch mastermind murder trial. Live coverage weekday mornings on Court TV.
Welcome back. Time to reveal something else you need to know tonight. Let's take a look at the big board. And what do we have? In the world of crime and justice, a special surprise. Who is that? That's Court TV superfan Maddie Price. And guess who's in studio tonight? There she is. Maddie, great to have you here.
I'm so excited.
And this whole thing cooked up by your granddaughter.
Oh, I know it.
Amazing.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
So I understand that when people come and sit down with you while you're watching TV, they're not allowed to change the channel.
No.
Why is that?
Court TV. That's what we watch.
And you say we, right? You have to watch Court TV when you're with Matt. So through the years, what trial sticks out to you? Is there a particular one you're like, wow, that was a case I'll never forget?
Oh, let's see. I don't know. I get involved in all of them.
Not all of them, right?
You love the Sim and Tilly.
Listen, the Sim and Tilly case.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah.
I have something for you. I've got
okay.
a bag of evidence, and inside this evidence bag, we have some Court TV goodies, like, you know, I've got some new earrings for you. Look at these earrings, some crime scene earrings. You can wear those to church on Sunday.
Yes, I will.
So this is for you. I'll give this to your daughter. Can hold that for you. So what is it about Court TV? What do you love about Court TV?
I just love it. It's true. You know, it's all true. And I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really get involved in it.
Well, do you hug the kids?
Yeah.
And do you hug the grandkids?
Hug the
you
kids.
gotta hug the grandkids too, right?
And pray for the missing kids.
Yeah. So, let me ask you this. Coming here tonight, they didn't say what was going on. You're dressed up to go out to dinner or something? And what are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking this is wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
A big event in my life.
And by the way, you just celebrated your 90th birthday recently, so happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Let me ask you if I could do one thing, or I have to ask your permission. Can I hug Grandma?
Yes. Oh, I would love it.
All right.
And I thank you so much, Benny, for all you do and the enjoyment that you give us.
Well, thank you for watching. We appreciate folks like you, and we appreciate your granddaughter and your daughter bringing you here and shocking now #1 granddaughter right here.
#1. The other three's watching.
All right. Maddie, have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Great
for
to see
having me here.
There we go. Court TV superfan, folks. Maddie Price. All right, we have some work we have to get done here, though. Let's take a look at our screens, folks. We have a missing child tonight who needs your help. This is Jaden Peterson, missing since August 19th out of Kingman, Arizona. He is only 13 years old. This is what you need to do. If you see Jaden, pick up the phone, make a call, make a difference. 911, 1-800-THE-LOST, or you can call the Kingman, Arizona Police Department. The number's up on the screen for you right now. Don't go anywhere. We have another hour of live true crime. But in the meantime, what do we remind everybody at the end of the show? Don't forget to hug the kids.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you.